If you want to be a major change agent on the planet right now, there's one book, above all, in my opinion, that you probably should read. And that's namely Spiral Dynamics, Mastering Values, Leadership, and Change by Dr. Don Beck and Chris Cohen. I've read it a couple times. Although there are some limitations in this book in some regards. That is, it's trying to capture and narrow developmental psychology into a total system through values, which I don't think it completely can do. It does an amazing job in summarizing the dramatic changes of the human conscious mind, human consciousness. So I'll summarize their overviews of each of these developmental stages. There are 8. These have been, a number of YouTubers have summarized these in other places, but I'll start first on purple. There's one before, it's called beige. It's archaic and it's survivalistic. You can still see it on the planet in third world countries where there's not enough food, or with the elderly or homeless folks sometimes, where there's some brain damage, for example. It's primarily survivalistic. You might have, maybe when they first found fire and this sort of thing. Purple, kin spirits, the clannish meme. We seek safety and security for our kind through trust in blood relationships, extended family bonds, and magical powers which reach into the spirit world. We honor our ancestors' ways as sacred, for they are even to us. Our path is full of seasonal rituals, rites, or passages, traditional music, and magic. We seek to live in harmony with nature and her ways through our ceremonies. The next meme, each of these memes solves the problem of the one that went before. And so they, in a sense, transcend and include the V meme that just went before it. So the next one is Power Gods, the red V meme, or egocentric. Life is a jungle. It's survival of the fittest. I'm tough and expect those around me to be tough or else. I take charge of people and can win over nature, bending her to my will. Respect and reputation matter more than life itself. So you do what it takes to avoid being shamed or put down. You don't take anything off anybody. Not if you're worth anything. You always get them back. Whatever you need to do, you do without guilt. Nothing and nobody can stand in your way. Right now is all there is. So I'll do what it takes to make me feel good. You can't worry about what hasn't happened yet. I'm all I've got. And I'll make it or I'll die trying. So it's, you might see this V meme maybe 10,000 years ago in sort of Egyptian culture and that sort of thing. Very hierarchical, but unconscious of it. Very egocentric, as it's put. Blue V meme solves the riddle as these power people that have no shame or guilt. So blue is truth force, or the purposeful V meme. A single guiding force controls the world and determines our destiny. Its abiding truth provides structure and order for all aspects of living here on earth, and rules the heavens as well. My life has meaning because the fires of redemption burn in my heart. I follow the appointed pathway which ties me with something much greater than myself. I stand fast for what is right, proper, and good, always subjecting myself to the directives of proper authority. I willingly sacrifice my desires in the present in the sure knowledge, and I look forward to something wonderful in the future. If this theory is correct, it says that all of these different V memes have truth in them, and we experience even these past V memes as real, although we often negate them. And there's a reason for that, and we'll get to that in a moment. Orange is the strive drive, or the strategic V meme. I want to achieve and win, and get somewhere in my life. The world is full of opportunities for those who will seize the day and take some calculated risks. Nothing is certain, but if you're good, you play the odds and find the best choices among many. You've got to believe in yourself first, then everything else falls into place. You can't get bogged down in structures or rules because they hold back progress. Instead, be practical and use those tried and true experiences. You can make things better and better for yourself. I'm confident in my own abilities and intend to make a difference in the world. Gather the data, build a strategic plan, and go for excellence. There's many entering and exiting phases for each of these, and so this is just the peak phase, as they call it. And so we're not getting the subtleties of the movements from each of these differences, but it still gives you a generalization of the different levels. If you read the book, you get a much more detailed picture of this and see how it applies to everyday life in many different systems. Green is the human bond, or the relativistic V-meme. Life is for experiencing each moment. We can all come to understand who we are and how wondrous it is to be human if we will only accept that everyone is equal and important. All must share in the joy of togetherness and fulfillment. Each spirit is connected to all others in our community. Every soul travels together. We are interdependent beings in search of love and involvement. The community grows by synergizing life forces. Artificial divisions take away from everybody. There is an abiding order in the universe for those who are open to it. Bad attitudes and negative beliefs dissolve once you look inside each person and uncover the richness within. Peace and love for all. What marks the difference between these first 6 stages, which include beige, and the next is that these are all striving for something, and the next 2 are being needs. So there's a monumental leap in meaning from stage 6 to stage 7. It's a difference between sort of relativism, where everything is equally true, and reintegration of all the different levels to some extent, with yellow, where it sort of takes on board the notion that everything that went before is in its own place acceptable. So yellow is flex flow, or the systemic V-meme. Viability must be restored to a disordered world endangered by the cumulative effects of the first 6 systems on the Earth's environment and population. The purpose of living is to be independent within reason, knowledgeable so much as possible, and caring so much as realistic. Yet, I am my own person, accountable to myself, an island in an archipelago of other people. Continuing to develop along a natural pathway is more highly valued than striving to have or do. I am concerned for the world's conditions because of my impact they have on me as part of a living system. There's been a shifting between individuation and collectives as we go. So for example, beige, red, orange, and yellow are all individuated, whereas purple, blue, green, and now turquoise, system number 8, are all collectivist systems. So the last one, turquoise, is a global view, the holistic V-meme. And so with this one, we see what has become called a holon. It's the Greek expression for a whole chunk. For example, a hologram is the whole of a message, and it's encoded through information in such a way to create the illusion of a 3-dimensional image when re-illuminated through a holographic photoplate. So it's blending and harmonizing a strong collective of individuals. It's focusing on the good of all living entities and integrated systems. It's expanded use of the human mind, brain, tools, and competencies. Itself is part of a larger conscious system that serves self and other. It's global and whole systems networking, and it does this routinely, and it acts for minimalistic living, so less is actually more.